Well, welcome to the Joe Cortez Show here in Las Vegas, Nevada, the entertainment capital of the world, and of course the sports capital of the world, which includes boxing. You know, boxing is really coming back real strong. So we have with me today my co-host, Jason Vincent, call him Mr. Las Vegas.
Vegas Vincent,
Because
Vegas Vincent, baby.
He was born and raised here, so anyway, I thought that that's a nice neat name to have.
Well, yeah, last time we came on, you said Wayne Newton had it for all those years, and he deserves a great entertainer. I've seen him a few times, especially when he was at the Stardust Hotel. But, you know, I was born and raised here, 47, almost 48 years old. I'm keeping that.
Okay, yeah, for sure. Because you still spring chicken, but you've been out for a long time.
His gray hairs, man.
Anyway, we're going to be talking about your amateur boxing program, what you got going here, and I'm so impressed with what you're doing because we need more folks like you out there that are giving so much to the community. And I know that we've had a lot of Golden Glovers come up the ranks, and you have a lot of fights coming up. I know you have the regionals coming up this weekend, and this show will be for the future bouts that you're going to be having, showcasing the next couple of weeks. But I know what you're doing with the boxing is unbelievable. And you told me you have a couple of standouts that are going. One of them is going to the Olympics, a female.
Yeah, you know, you guys, she is from Las Vegas, or has been boxing out of here since she was a little girl. Her name is Yaisy Ramirez, and she's on the USA boxing team. She's had a decorated amateur career. I was lucky enough to referee one of her bouts, one of her fights a couple years ago at the Center Ring event here. And she is a 2019 bronze medalist at the Pan American Games in Lima, Peru. She also won a silver medal, I believe, at the World Championships. She boxes and represents Barry's Boxing here in Las Vegas, and she's coached by her dad, Rafael Ramirez. And you know, I want to get out that she's on the Olympic team. There was a little bit of write-up in the press and El Mundo and a few of the Hispanic papers and stuff like that, but word hasn't really got out, Joe, that she's over in Tokyo, Japan right now on Team USA representing the Olympics.
Now, how old is she?
She is 21 years old. She is 21 years old. Her and I actually, like I said, I refereed her fight a couple years ago, and then her and I actually got voted on when we had this past elections for our local boxing committee out here in Nevada.
Right.
Her and I got elected to athlete representatives. I was the male athlete representative, and she was the female athlete representative. But yeah, she's over in the Olympics, and I did talk to her dad, Rafa. I call him Rafa, Coach Rafael. And when she gets back and gets settled in and gets comfortable, she'll be right here in this chair, and Joe Cortez will be interviewing an Olympian from Las Vegas.
It would be an honor to have an Olympian. Not only is she an Olympian, she's a female. And not many females make it to that level.
Yeah.
I remember years ago, some of the sanctioning bodies didn't even want to know anything about females in boxing. And now they're giving all these championship belts to the female, which is very much deserving.
What do you think? Who are some of the pioneers or were on the front edge of making female boxing amateur and professional what it is today, in your opinion? Who give me a couple names out there?
Well, yeah, you have a couple of some of the past ones. Layla Ali was one of them.
Of course,
Joe Frazier's daughter was another one. And you have Laura Serrano.
they boxed each other, didn't they?
Yeah.
They fought each other, right? Yeah.
Layla Ali won the decision.
Yeah.
And then you also have Laura Serrano from Mexico. She was the first Mexican female out of Mexico. And she fought her own battle because they didn't want female boxing in Mexico. They didn't go for it, but then she was an attorney.
Okay.
And she went and fought herself in the courthouse to defend herself to say why we females should be in boxing. So she's a pioneer, one of my favorites because of what she accomplished.
Yeah. Let me ask you this: did you ever referee female bouts?
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Layla Ali was one. Layla Mercado was another.
Layla, yeah.
Laura Serrano, the girl that used to wear the pink.
Christy Martin.
Christy Martin.
Christy Martin. She was one. Yeah, I forgot about her. She was
Christy Martin was one of my favorites because I say favorite because she was such a crowd pleaser. Because she used to get purses like a couple of $100,000 to fight on the a lot of the Mike Tyson undercards, she would fight on that.
She was an entertainer too. Not only was she a hell of a boxer, female boxer, or a boxer in general, she was definitely an entertainer.
She was. So, you know, a lot of these fighters, they come up, you gotta give them credit.
Yeah.
Give them a lot of credit. I mean, you know, it's tough enough to get punched around as a man, as a male, but never mind these females. They're supposed to be pretty, they're supposed to get hurt and whatnot, but now they go in there, they knock your head off in a heartbeat.
Yeah, and I just, you know, you see the evolution of female boxing. Like you said, we're talking about the pioneers in the front, you know, the people that were on the front lines of putting women combative sports of boxing on the map. But you see the evolution of it now, and these women are full-blown athletes. Their technique's on point, and man, I wouldn't want to get in the ring with them.
Well, Layla McCarter, right now, of the four that I just mentioned, that I referee, she's the only one that's still active.
Still active.
She's still active. I believe she's like close to 40 years old.
Yeah.
And but she still got it, man. She can box, she can punch, she has great defense, and she's really a good crowd pleaser.
You know, I follow her on Instagram. I have her on Facebook too, and also her coach also. And I actually work with her coach's son Daniel at Caesar's Palace. But she still seems hungry. She's still after, you know, trying to get the big fights and keep going on and continuing. Like you said, she's getting close to 40.
Yeah, yeah, well, but she still got it. She still looks young. She said, "Joe, you're my favorite referee." You know, I guess because every time she fought, she's always won. You know.
Yeah.
She had like over 40 professional
Oh
fights.
yeah, man.
And
Yeah.
under her belt with a good 30-some odd wins. You know.
Yeah.
So she's got to come a long way for boxing, and take off my hat to her. Good job, Layla. Keep up the good work.
And I think she used to train out of, or she got started here, if I'm not mistaken, at Johnny Toko's gym down there. I think that was her gym. And
Yeah, well, you got
Yeah.
a lot of fighters are training. You got some of these amateur kids that fight out of Toko's gym. Toko's gym, that was Sonny Liston used to train, Mike Tyson,
Larry Holmes,
Michael
Dokes.
Those all those guys, the former world champion,
Yeah.
they all fought out of Johnny Toko's gym,
Yeah.
which is on Charleston and near Jones, in that area around there.
Yeah.
And it was a very famous gym, and it's still open. All these years, Mr. Taco passed away, but the gym's still going strong.
Yeah, it's definitely when you think of Las Vegas and you think of the different clubs and the, you know, the trainers and all that. Johnny Toko's gym goes way back, and I believe it goes back into the back into the 60s and 70s.
Oh, yeah.
Obviously, Muhammad Ali and
Yeah, Muhammad
Joe
Ali.
Frazier. So a lot of these boxers, when they came in to fight here out in Vegas, and they came 3 days early or 5 days early or 7 days early, they would finish their training camp at Johnny Toko's gym.
Exactly. You got a lot of champions come to Vegas, and of course, if you got the big fight coming up, and let's say you got Wilder, Deontay Wilder, and you got Tyson Fury coming up.
Part 3, right?
Number 3.
Part 3, yeah.
The trilogy. You know, those fights end up like 1-1. They got out the third one to see who's really like.
You got to finish out the trilogy. You know, it was a dominating performance last time by Furrier, and me personally, I gave him a slight edge on the first fight. You know, but yeah, it's gonna be interesting to see what kind of adjustments Wilder makes, and you know, I want to see it, man. I'm glad boxing's back, whether it's amateur or pros. I believe it's at the T-Mobile, and that place is gonna be rocking.
It's on the 24th of August, and I tell you, the Nevada State Athletic Commission has done very well, you know, appointing the referees, the judges for that fight, and it's official now, so we can say it.
Yeah.
It's July 24th. Yeah, Mike Ortega is going to be the referee.
Mike Ortega got that. Yeah, got that assignment, man. Right on. Good for you, Mike. Right on. Congrats.
That was official
Yeah.
today, and he's my godson. His father was the guy got me started in boxing.
What was his dad's name again?
Gaspar Eden Ortega.
Gaspar, yeah.
Gaspar
I remember
Ortega.
I remember you talking about Gaspar.
Gaspar Ortega had 176 fights, professional
Wow.
fights. 176, and he only got stopped twice.
Wow,
And
man, that's a lot of fights.
Never fought for the championship. He fought for the title against Emil Griffith. But he had like 80 fights under his belt when they gave him a shot.
Yeah.
And he was still young, but they figured they don't want to give it to him when he was young, in his prime. They give it to him when he was on his way out. But he had like another 100-some odd fights.
Is he Puerto Rican?
No, he's Mexican.
Mexican fight.
He's from Mexicali, Mexico.
Mexican, okay.
Yeah, but Mike's mother is Puerto Rican.
Yeah?
So he's half Puerto Rican, half Mexican.
Yeah, it's like fights with himself all the time.
Exactly. Yeah. But Mike Ortega is a young referee who's been pretty well established in the East Coast, and he's on worldwide. He's got about 40 world championship fights under his belt already. My godson. And I can tell you guys one thing, I used to change his diaper when he was a baby, okay?
Really?
And he's the guy that's going to be referee the heavyweight title fight July 24th.
Yeah, okay.
You know, but,
They say East Coast, was he a New York guy? Or
he was a New York guy, now he's a resident in Nevada.
Yeah, awesome.
We got him here to Nevada where he's well liked by a lot of the fans and the boxing fraternity. They think that Mike Ortega is one of the up and coming rising referees. Well, that's why he got the heavyweight.
That's why I got that assignment, man. Yeah, you don't get that assignment by accident, man.
No. And you know, of course, I know his skills. I know where he's going. I know that what he has.
Yeah.
He's very capable of handling any fight, whether they're flyweights, 105 pounder to any heavyweight. And Mike is pretty big himself.
Yeah.
He's a good 200 pounder. He's like a 6'1". So he's pretty big, and
he can get in there and break them big guys apart there, man. Right? Yeah.
I remember when I had to break these big guys apart. And I refereed Tyson like 8 times. But I remember doing the Red Bull and Vander Holyfield fight.
Yeah.
I did 2 of the 3.
Yeah.
I did the first and the third. Let me tell you, those fights, those guys had to break those guys up, and it wasn't easy. But you got to work yourself. That's why as a referee, you have to stay in shape, keep yourself physically fit. But most importantly, like I told Mike today, when he called me to tell me that he got to fight, I said, congratulations, man. You know, I knew it, right? Because I saw it online, you know.
Look at the big smile on this guy's face. Like he's back in there. That's awesome, man. Yeah.
So anyway, so Mike is in there. He got the world title fight. But I know that Mike can handle it because physically and mentally, he prepared for it. He's ready to go.
Well, you said he has 40...
At least
40 world championship bouts that he's done. Oh, yeah. So, I mean, you got that level. That doesn't count all the other ones that he's done throughout his career. So, but, man, that place is going to be rocking. You're going to have, what, about 18,000 people in there?
I think about 20,000.
20,000?
Mike is on fights with Joe Cortez back in Wales, in Europe, with 50,000.
50,000 out, yeah.
So for Mike, it won't be no big deal, I think, to handle 20,000.
Those are big boys too. And Walter and Furrier. They're not only are they obviously big and thick, you know, like you said, Riddick Bone, all that. These guys are really tall guys too, man. Tall guys.
But Mike stands in there with them.
But he's like 6'1" though, man. That's big size, yeah.
Yeah, he's about 6'1", Mike.
Yeah.
And he can, like I said, he could come in about 205 for the fight.
Yeah.
Mike Ortega.
Michael, you're good, man. We're proud of you, man.
Normally we don't talk about size as a referee or weight, but being that this is such an important fight, you need a big referee with experience and the weight that he can carry to maneuver these guys in the ring.
That makes sense.
Using good ring mechanics. So important.
Awesome, man.
I'll be training him for the next couple of weeks.
Yeah, you'll be in his ear, man, right?
He'll be in my ring in my gym at the other house where I'll be training him, working with him. We discussed that today.
Yeah.
He's gonna be tip-top shape for this big fight.
Awesome. So you get him in your personal man cave, your personal gym over there. Do you guys also watch a little film or study that too? Or do you guys do that a little bit too?
Yeah, exactly. We'll go back and look at the previous fights to see what kind of bad habits,
tendencies and stuff.
That may have, whether punches behind the head or low blows or excessive holding. All these little things we got to work out to make sure that they don't occur that night.
Yeah.
But then the referee takes control back in the dressing room. You know, he got to give you the pre-fight instructions. This is where the referee takes control and makes it easier for him when in the ring. And if they start committing fouls, whether it's intentional or unintentional, start taking points on the beginning. Don't be waiting to the last round to take points. You take points in the first 3 or 4.
Take control right off the bat, right off the start. Yeah.
And and then you when you get involved with something like that kind of a fight, you want to make sure that you do it right because you're under a microscope when you're at a big fight.
Man. Oh goodness. Yeah.
Just like the young lady you're talking about. Let's go back to your amateurs. I mean, I know your amateur fighters have a lot going for them, and the girl Miss Ramirez going to Japan. You know what I feel bad about? Her father, who got her to that level, he can't be there to train her.
Yeah, that's one thing with amateur boxing and USA boxing. A lot of these coaches and club owners and trainers and fathers or TOs and TIAs get to their kids to that certain level, and they'll always be their coach, but you got to kind of turn them over to USA boxing, and you got to turn them over to AIBA and all that to get into that level. If you want to compete in AIBA at like Pan Am Games or World Champions, or if you can make it to the pinnacle of the Olympics, you do have to kind of turn them over. Now, if or when she comes back and wants to go pro, be a professional, then obviously Rafa, Coach Rafa will take back over and go from there. But yeah, you do have to kind of turn them over, to USA Boxing. So yeah,
that's some of the things that
that's a transition for a lot of people.
Yeah, but even just a regular fighter who has a trainer that brings him up from the amateurs, then when he gets to a certain level in the pros, the fighters, another trainer comes along, somebody offers him a promoter offers him a nice contract, and so he drops out trainer, now he's with another trainer.
Yeah.
And the trainer said, "My God, I got him to that level, and look what they do, they walk away from me."
Yeah.
And that's a heartbreaker too.
That happens a lot. I see it a lot. I mean, you've been in boxing, 20 times longer than I have, but you see it at the amateur level. When they get to a certain level, they'll hop over to another gym or another trainer, and then, heavens forbid, when you go professional and there's money involved, then, all sorts of different things can happen. So you see it all the time.
Well, you get a contract, somebody gives you become an Olympic champion, and they give you a contract for a couple of $1 million. I mean,
that changes your life forever.
It does change.
It changes your life forever.
I mean, and these young folks, they never seen that kind of money, and they put that kind of money in front of you. You kind of start thinking twice. You say, I love my trainer, but what am I going to do?
Well, you want to take care of yourself, and you want to take care of your family too, and eventually your kids, and set your whole family up on a good path and track for life. So yeah, you gotta, it comes to a point sometimes where you gotta choose and what's best for you and your family.
Yeah, well, sometimes you make a commitment, and when you make a commitment, you have to sometimes fulfill that commitment. And sometimes people don't fulfill that commitment, and then what happens, That's where the hurt comes in. That's where the trainer get a broken heart, or just even the fighters themselves, they feel broken hearted because they got to separate themselves from the original trainer who got them to that level. It hurts a lot.
Boxing's a tough business, and obviously, like I said, you've been in it, decades longer than I have, but you definitely got to have thick skin. Whether you're a boxer, a coach, a trainer, a gym owner, an official, a referee, I mean, you definitely got to have thick skin, and man, otherwise you're going to get your feelings hurt a lot, man. I mean, you really do. Even in the amateur level, we're not under the microscope that Mr. Ortega is, but we're under a microscope too with USA Boxing and coaches and club owners and moms. You got moms and dads out in the crowd, and
Well, you gotta live up to what your expectations. I mean, they get you to a certain level. I mean, the parents put in a lot of time, a lot of effort, a lot of sacrifices.
They do.
To get these fighters to that level. It's not something that happens overnight. Sometimes it doesn't happen just for anybody. Sometimes you get 100 fighters, and maybe only 10 of them can make it.
Correct.
Maybe.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah, that's a good percentage, right there. Yeah, that's a good percentage.
I'm talking about 100, and 10 will make it. And, maybe only 2 or 3 will really make it.
Yeah.
But who will make it like a Sugar Ray Leonard? Anyway, the Olympic, Oscar De La Hoya, Manny Pacquiao, so many fighters, there's thousands of them out there. How many really become household names where they become very popular and they become very famous and make a lot of money? This is a lucrative business, but you have to try to fulfill that. Not easy. A lot of dedication, sacrifices, the training, the discipline that goes along with being a fighter. Not easy.
And some of it's just the luck of the draw, being at the right place at the right time, or who you network with, or what connections you get. I work with guys, a professional boxer I work with at Caesar's Palace, Linnell Bellows. He's got 29, professional fights. He had 30 or 40 amateur fights, and he's still, grinding and clawing and scraping and all that to make a living in boxing.
It's not easy. It's not easy because if you're not with the right people, with the right trainer, the right promoter, and if you have maybe 1 or 2 losses that were not that good, especially your last couple of fights, if you got 3 or 4 losses at the last 7 or 8 fights, they kind of like don't really go after you that quick because you are not what they thought you were going to be.
Yeah.
You turn out to be like, let's say that Felix Verdejo, the kid from Puerto Rico,
Yeah.
we thought he would be another Felix trainer that Top Rank had him, and they were flying this guy around the country. He was going all over. A lot of expectation with Felix Verdejo, who happens to be in jail now
Oh, really?
because he murdered his girlfriend.
His girlfriend.
I mean, but this guy had all the expectations to be the top, and look where he's at now, behind bars for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
For those of you that don't know that, he killed his girlfriend in Puerto Rico, and he was married, and the girl was pregnant, and he decided maybe the best way to eliminate her was to to kill her.
No,
and
goodness,
and he, actually, what he did, not only did he kill the girlfriend, he killed the baby,
The baby.
and he killed himself because now he's in jail for the rest of his life.
Yeah.
Unbelievable,
That's
you know?
horrible. You do. There's a lot of stress and pressure and a lot of weight on everybody's shoulders. So, and some people just fall apart.
No,
They can't handle that pressure.
No, you got to know how to deal with it and go forward. There's a saying that says, "It's not how hard you hit, it's how hard you can get hit and keep going forward."
That is.
Because that's the way it is. I mean, Sylvester Stallone used that in the movie.
Yeah, right. That was right. That was the Balboa, Rocky Balboa.
We thought was the referee in that movie for that fight, and he said, "Hey, Joe, what do you think about my line there?" I said, "Not bad. I mean, you sound pretty good, Sylvester." He said, "Joe, call me Sly." I said, "Okay." So Sly, call you Sly. You know what? If you would have been a fighter, you probably would have been a champion because I mean, you got the heart, you got the ambition, you got some skills. But I'd like to see you maybe come in the ring now with some of the celebrities out there. You think people will pay per view to see Rocky Balboa against not Mike Tyson, but one of the other?
Yeah, you could find another celebrity or something like that. But you could be in the Masters division, which is 35 years and older. I had my first fight at 44 years old at the Westgate Hotel. So,
unbelievable.
yeah, 44 years old. I was in the ring in front of 2,000 people in the Athletic Commission at the Westgate Hotel. But the Balboa movie is that the scene where he fought Tarver, right?
I fought Antonio Tarver.
Tarver, yeah, I remember that. Yeah.
And we filmed that at the MGM Hotel.
Yeah.
And we did the night before we had a big fight. It was a sellout crowd. I forgot which fight was one of the I think it was one of the Tyson fights.
Gotcha.
And what they did was we filmed the night before. Being that we had a live audience of about 16, 17,000 fans there, we used those fans. MGM used those fans for the
final scene against Tarver.
With Tarver and Sylvester coming into the ring. So they got Sylvester Stallone, Rocky, walking from the dressing room towards the ring. When he comes into the ring, gonna get into the ropes. I'm standing right there, and you see him coming there, and we cut right there. And the next day, we started filming the next part of him walking into the ring, and then we got all the extras around ringside to make it look, and all of the balcony level, they're all on the top. They had all these, they were like balloons. It looked like people up there.
Yeah.
They had a fan. It was moving those balloons, make it look like people were
moving around out there. Yeah.
It was unbelievable,
That was a good fight scene. I like at the end where they were going to the decision, and Paulie was there, and Stallone's like, "Paulie, I got all that stuff out of the basement now," and the son comes up and hugs him, and they don't even wait for the decision. He just walks out.
He walks out, yeah.
And he turns back around and make him turn around, and he gives everybody that, and it was awesome.
It was good to be there. It took us 6 days to film the segment.
Yeah.
And what we were doing was when we were doing a certain segment, we go over and look at the monitor. We had like 3 or 4 monitors outside the ring, and we would look at it, and I'll be there with him, and he said, "Joe, what do you think?" I said, "No, not that one." And we do it again till we got it.
It wasn't close enough for you. What you thought for like the real, to make it look authentic and real.
I went to make it look authentic.
Of course.
And the only way we're gonna make it look authentic was by doing it again, doing it the right way. I said, no, that punch looked like it hit. It really didn't hit. Let's do it again. Or maybe the angle, whatever. It came out. It was beautiful.
Yeah.
And he wanted me to say, "Joe, can you help me? I got to get some real boxing people in here." I got him 23 extras for the movie.
Yeah.
Judges, timekeepers,
inspectors. I saw that. Yeah.
I got them all in there. I even got guys by Adrian Ortega.
Yeah.
I made him a commissioner for the movie.
Did you guys use some of the Athletic Commission inspectors, or those were just extras with the?
No. I bought the real guys.
Yeah, I was gonna say I looked like I saw the real people that you see.
I had Tony Lato, and I had Jack Lazzarato.
Yeah.
And I had.
Everybody looked like you would see at a fight at the MGM Hotel.
Then I had Jim Lampley.
Yeah.
And Max Kellerman.
Doing the commentating.
Commentating. Make it look authentic.
It did. It looked great.
And the timekeeper was Robert Hoyle.
Robert Hoyle did the timekeeping.
Who's the referee now?
Yeah.
He
was an inspector at that time back in those days, right? Or was
he was an inspector first, then he became a judge. We're doing that time of the movie. I believe he was a judge.
Yeah.
But we used him as a timekeeper.
Now, Robert Hoyle was with USA Boxing, amateur boxing, like I am right now here in Las Vegas.
Right.
And he worked his way up from you know, the USA Boxing Amateurs and organically worked his way up. So
You know, I want you fans to really listen to it, because this is stuff you don't hear. This is stuff that people say, wow, where you gotta get these stories from? These are amazing stories. These are stuff people want to hear.
yeah.
You know? Let's go back to your amateur stuff. What else you got going on there?
Well, what I got going on, I actually, thanks for passing it back. I actually want to give a shout out to the 3 Nevada Golden Glove winners, the state Golden Glove winners for the state of Nevada, and they are moving on to regionals this weekend at Barry's Boxing Gym. But I want to give it a shout out to an Italian boy, one of my old training partners out of Bo's Boxing, Gianni Pompelli. So he's one of my old training partners. He bloodied my nose a few times getting ready for me for my fight. So he is out of Steve Bo's Boxing. He won his first Golden Gloves. And then we have two-time Nevada Golden Glove winners. First of all, Vincent Dean, who I was able to referee one of his fights a few years ago. He's a 2-time Nevada Golden Glove winner out of the Fight Capital. His coach is Coach King, Coach David Sample, Coach King I call him. Who he was a professional boxer too. He fought the likes of Zab Judah and Coach Skipper Kelp, who owns the Fight Capital down there, who was a professional boxer. You probably remember that name, Skipper Kelp.
He was with UNLV at one time.
Yeah, he coached UNLV down there, who was my first original coach, Coach Jose Gonzalez, who was a national champ at UNLV under Skipper Kelp. And then the third one is. Like I said, he's 2-time Golden Glove. I reffed his Golden Glove bout in 2019 at Barry's Boxing, and it's Dejan Carter, 2-time Nevada Golden Glove boxing state champ, and he's out of Johnny Toko's gym. And his coach is Fernando Ramirez, who was an ex. You know, all these guys have ex-pro fighters for their coaches. So I was able, honestly, Yaisy Ramirez, who was in the Olympics in Tokyo right now, Gianni Pompali out of Steve Bo's Boxing, Dejan Carter out of Johnny Toko's gym, and Vincent Dean. I love everybody that has Vincent in their name.
Yeah.
Vincent Dean out of Fight Capital. I actually was able to referee all 4 of these boxers. So yeah, just a coincidence, but I'm very grateful to share the ring with them. So.
Yeah, well, your career is just, as far as I'm concerned, just starting out.
Yeah.
You're so young and you still got a lot going for you. And if sometimes I think maybe the professional ranks will be looking at you in the very near future. You know, so let's see what happens.
I'll keep my fingers crossed, man. keep working, and I got the Golden Gloves this weekend, and you know, every Friday before the event, I pull out the R&J, the ref and judge manual at USA Boxing, and the USA Boxing manual, and I read through it, you know, from cover to front to end, and you know, just continue to learn.
Exactly.
You know, I call you coach. I learn from you, and you know, you know, you're my coach too. So.
Well, you know, we're trying. You know, after this COVID that I went through for 5 months in the hospital, that wasn't an easy one. And I'm back, and I'm getting my wind back now. You can see I'm getting it back. I still got a little shortness, but all that, I'm working all that out with all my rehab and my therapy that I'm going through. But I tell you, it's been a good run. It was an experience. It was a bad experience, but it was good in the sense where I can now be able to help other people out there and tell them what to watch out for. Get vaccinated. A lot of people don't believe in getting vaccinated. I tell you that you guys are not thinking right. You got to listen to the experts out there. And then know what's good for you, because you don't want to be walking out there and catch COVID, and now with the Delta virus that's out there, it's just a little more contagious. And,
I if you don't mind, I want to say a hi to Vincent Moreno. He's a boxing guy. He's with Fernando Vargas and helps with Fernando Vargas's boys and his sons. But he just was released from the hospital maybe 2 weeks ago. And he's about my age. He's in his mid to late 40s, and he was in the hospital with COVID, guys, just 2 or 3 weeks ago. He was in the hospital for about 5, 6, 7 weeks, and he's under 50 years old. So it's still going on. It's still out there, Vincent. I hope you're feeling better. He's doing the physical therapy and everything that you're doing.
Yeah.
And then Coach Seth Cruz, he had it. He was in the hospital for 4 or 5 months. He's one of our local coaches here, and he's doing the physical therapy and everything
I
like
tell
that.
you, it was not easy. I mean, being in the hospital for 5 months, at Mountain View, I got to take off my hat to the nurses and the doctors there for all the work they did. And the kitchen, the food was pretty good in the hospital.
Right, not bad.
It wasn't bad,
Not bad. As good as your Army food back in the days, or probably a little bit better, man.
A little bit better.
A little bit better.
But I mean, the Army food was these little packs.
Oh God.
That little pack that you gotta take it out. It's been there for who knows how many years.
Yeah, when you're out in the field, there you put a little mix a little water in there and shake it up, and
Anyway, but I want to thank God for getting me back again on my feet with the COVID, and thank God that we have good people around to give you the support and all the prayers. I would thank all you for the prayers, and they definitely help a lot. And all those out there that are my loved ones and friends that are watching, I can tell you that I love you all. No matter what, we're gonna go forward. I made a commitment, and my commitment is to never look back. I'm gonna go forward, gonna make things happen one way or the other, whether it's gonna be sooner or later. Things are gonna happen. God bless you all.
you guys have a good night, man. Appreciate your time and very grateful. Thank you, guys. Joe Cortez is back, man. You see that smile? He's back.
Well, thanks a lot. See you guys next week. Okay, that's good. That is.